Sarah, such a pleasure to have you on
Pleasure
Film
is mine.
Companion.
Thank you, ma'am.
You know, my earliest memory of you is a school play at Ambani. And I don't remember what year or what you were playing or what the play was called, but I remember you had these long monologues and you didn't falter for a minute. You were there. And I remember looking at you and saying, wow, she's good, man. And here you are, you know, a full-fledged actor.
Nearly.
I know you've always wanted to do this, but what is it about acting that excites you?
I think that the most exciting thing for me, and I'm saying this now having done 2 films,
Yeah.
but I think the most exciting thing for me is that you forget who you are, you know, between action and cut, and you attempt, or at least try to attempt to do justice to somebody else's life and somebody else's story and somebody else's character, and that becomes you, you know. And by doing that, I think that this profession allows us to live so many different lives and so many different experiences that we wouldn't have on our own, which is why we, you know, make films. We do things that are not necessarily real and not necessarily common. And I think that whether it's Simba or whether it's Kedarnath, you know, acting has enabled me to feel and do things that I don't feel or do on a daily basis. So I think acting is like my way into this secret, maybe even more real life than we actually have.
But you said that you're weird and your parents are weird.
But you've met them.
Of course.
You've met me. So then,
No, come on, you're not weird. What's weird about you?
I'm not weird.
नहीं यार.
Okay, ठीक है. आप interview के बाद बोलिए. No, I mean, I'm just saying that, you know, we're not like conventionally like normal people. We all like say weird stuff and do weird
Which
stuff.
actors are like normal people? And which
Probably
artists,
not. Probably
you know,
not.
I think a part of you has to be sort of slightly, you know,
Off.
walking to the beat of a different drummer.
No, yeah, that definitely is true, I feel. And I feel that we are, or, you know, I say it in a little bit of humor, but I definitely think that all of us are a little bit different like that, you know, and we all function together in a funny way. Like Mom and myself, we have like the funniest dynamic back at home. Like
What do you mean?
Like about anything. We're just like arguing, laughing. You know, it's like a really funny house. You have to come and see. We had a parrot which we've gotten rid of. The parrot would sit on her and like scream while there were meetings and all going on. We are a weird family. I promise you, this is not a lie. I won't humiliate my mom further.
You're in a
But-
meeting and there's a parrot
Yes.
saying what?
Many times over. I mean, I don't even know what to. Now we don't have the parrot anymore because my mom realized that it's extremely difficult to manage. So we gave the parrot away. And
Did it disrupt your career to have this parrot
I think
disrupting?
maybe, you know, like a couple of people said we'll get back and they never did. No, I'm joking. But, it was really funny.
That is really funny.
Yeah, and we have this dog that's also very naughty, and he's also very disturbing because people come home and then he does things to them that I shouldn't talk about on your show. But it's like not cool at all. But
And it's
so-
all normal.
Yes, that's us normal. I know, and the reason I say this is because a friend of mine came home once and she was like, now I know why you're weird. Because she'd met my mom for the first time and I think my mother had said something and my dog was doing his own thing and the parrot was going, and she's like, it all makes sense.
So I have to tell you about your mom. I met her, I think it was at a parent-teacher meeting, right? So Ibrahim and my daughter were in the same class and you know, we started talking about where you were, and I think you had just gone to New York, and she said you were in New York, and I said, and you know, I just turned around and said, oh, in NYU, because a lot of kids go to NYU, right? And she turned around and gave me this look and she said, no, Columbia. And I love that. I was like, there you go. The pride on her face when she said that you are in an Ivy League institution and I, you know, need to be respectful of that was just fab. It was like, I completely felt her as a mom. But tell me, where and how does that education sort of help you to kind of navigate the complexities of the world you inhabit now?
Ma'am, you know, I think that a lot of people, and it's almost natural if you want to become a doctor or a lawyer, that you need a degree to support that. But in my case, and especially since you said that, you know that I've wanted to do this my whole life, my education was never a means to my career.
Sure.
You know, it was something that I feel allowed me to really be who I am today. So it was way more personal than professional. So I think that being an educated person, I think firstly it gives you confidence. Then it gives you a little bit of eloquence. It also teaches you how to live on your own.
Yeah, that
You
must
know,
have
which
been.
is very,
yeah.
very important, because I come from a house where my mum is so protective, and she's not a smotherer, but she's a single mother, you know, and a very good one, because she's never ever, I don't even know how she's done it, but she's never ever let me feel like there's anything in this world that I could want and not have. And while that's an extremely romantic story between mom and myself, it can be a slightly damaging story, because in life that's not how things really work.
Absolutely.
You don't get everything that you want. And I don't think that there was any better way for me to learn that rather than going to a foreign country and being there for 3 years where nobody was there to give me everything that I wanted. And then living on your own, then learning how to be on your own. All these things, I think, play an extremely significant role in enabling me to, you know, navigate myself around the world that I currently inhabit, because it's necessary, especially now more so today than ever before, you
Absolutely.
know, because this world that I am so eagerly waiting to get into and hoping to, you know, make my mark in. This world is a world where it is of extreme importance to have a sound understanding of who you are, because you can forget, you can be made to forget. And I think that that's what going to Columbia allowed me to do, understand who I am without any other adjective or any other epithet attached to me, rather than just Sara, who she is. Because the adjectives and associations attached to me are all very powerful.
Yeah.
And will continue to be, not just Amrita Singh and Saif Ali Khan, you know, now Abhishek Kapoor, Rohit Shetty, everybody is powerful. So who are you? You need to know that.
Yeah. Tell me, you also said that your parents sort of tried to inculcate in you a belief in external values. Did
Yes.
you mean by that make you believe that there are other sort of sources of validation other than Bollywood success?
Other sources of happiness, for sure. Validation, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that the most correctly, but I think that there are definitely more sources of happiness is something that they have both tried to show me, because this can be a world where you can get quite engulfed.
Yeah, it's a rabbit
you know?
hole, no?
And you can, and the thing is that it's one that you love, and if you love something and you're passionate about the same thing that you love, and it can engulf you, then that can be dangerous if you don't know how to strike the balance, you know, which I think they tried to kind of teach me and show me the mirror that, look, we're not going to dissuade you from doing this, because I think they're both very happy that they're actors, and they recognize that a part of who they are is because of their career. And especially mom, because she's taken long breaks in the middle. But whether it's the love or the appreciation or the fact that she's just an amazing actor, all that still stands true for her. So she realizes that this industry is also a very warm place somewhere. But it's important to have your head on your shoulders and a home to go to, and a life that can be just there, external to what's going on here.
Yeah. Does sort of your going on sets and of course doing all of this, does it inspire her to come out and act a little more maybe?
No, I don't think so.
Not at all?
Not at all. I don't think so. Mom is very moody like that. Like when mom wants to work, she wants to work. She's just finished doing a film, so which I'm very excited for. It's called Badla and it's releasing in March. So it depends on her, you know. Sometimes she's
Mood पर है.
मूड पर है, क्योंकि आधा अधूरा कुछ नहीं करती हैं. अगर करना है तो पूरी तरह करना है. And she's the kind of person that she says that, you know, being a mother is a full-time job.
Yeah.
So, you know, and she doesn't like then doing it half-hearted. When she was in Scotland shooting for this film in June, I didn't see her for 40 days. There would be days where she would just message me, good morning, good night, that's it. And this is coming from somebody that's like usually calling quite often and all. So she does that, you know, and she's like, I will do what I'm doing fully when I'm doing it. Which is why I think she doesn't act as often.
You know, Saif said that in this profession, your compromises define you. Do you agree with that?
What does that mean?
That finally the way your career will be shaped up will be on the one film that you did compromise, that you perhaps did because you thought it was going to be a hit. I'm assuming those are the compromises an actor makes, where you're not 100% convinced by the project, but you do it because it feels like it's saleable. Do you think that? I mean, I also ask that question because with your career, you have two very different films, right? And of course, Simmba feels like a safer bet. Rohit and Ranveer will do the heavy lifting. Is that a strategic decision?
You know, ma'am, I honestly feel that I don't think that I would compromise. I don't think that that's something that I could do, not because of any other reason, but because I'm very bad at doing things that I'm not convinced about, which could be a strength but could also be a disadvantage. Like to the point where I will not go into a history exam and write about Hitler if you don't answer my every question. It's not enough for me to just know a little bit about World War II. I want to know everything from 1933 to 1945 so that I can write this paper. And
you're one of those.
I'm one of those. And somewhere down the line, I think that that's part of the reason that I will not be able to compromise on my decision making, because I don't have what it takes, whether you call that skill or expertise or what craft, anything. I don't have what it takes to be able to do something here with full conviction if I don't truly believe in it. So I don't think that a compromise could really happen for me. And as far as Kedarnath and Simmba are concerned, like you said, they're both extremely different genres, but I'm not lying, and I'm so glad that both these films have happened for me, because I'm not lying when I say that I have always dreamt and aspired to be able to do all kinds of films. Which is not a fun answer, but it's the true answer. Because when people ask me that, you know, what kind of films do you see yourself being part of, there was never an answer. I can tell you that as a child, I've watched all of Karan Johar's films, and I'm a huge Dharma fan. But does that mean that that's the only kind of cinema I want to be part of? Definitely not, you know. So I feel that I have been privileged enough to have the opportunity to do these two very different genres, and there's no way that I could say which is better than the other for me.
So are you choosing purely on instinct?
Yes.
There's no sort of other advisor in place?
No, of course there are advisors. And, you know, my parents especially, like I turn to them for things. But let's put it this way, I don't think that I can do something that I don't believe in. And if I really believe in something, it's a little bit difficult to stop me. But somewhere in the middle of that, there is, of course, advice and conversation. But like, let's pretend that everybody said, don't do Kedarnath. Let's just assume I would have done it.
Still?
100%. I couldn't hear that narration and not do it. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say.
But that's lovely.
I hope so.
No, but you know, you have your conviction, and that's honestly all an actor can go on, right?
I feel so, because I mean, I don't know enough, but I see the way things pan out, and there is no bet.
Yeah.
Ever.
Nobody knows anything.
So why would you want to be in a place where you blame somebody else? Let it be a mistake, let it be your mistake, so you can own it and learn it and go forward from there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that there's anything but instinct that one can rely on. And if you stop relying on your instinct, it'll stop to grow, and then you're really doomed.
Yeah.
Because then what do you do? Then where do you go? That's damn scary.
Tell me, what are the pressures of being an actor, especially a female actor, in the age of social media?
As much as you take, I think.
Really?
I think so. I mean, I wear a lot of white salwar kameezes constantly, and I've been told by a lot of people that, you know, I shouldn't. But I really continue to.
Like who says
a lot of
people? Stylists?
No, not
what
stylists,
type
but
of people
will say, you know, around you, anybody, well-wishers, family, friends, that, you know, अरे यार थोड़ा अच्छा दिखो, बाहर जा रहे हो, अरे नहीं करना यार, थक गई आज, रहने दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, you know, and I'm like that. And I'm a little okay being like that, you know. I won't show up to an interview with Anupama Chopra in a just, you know, nightie, because I'm appropriate and I'm decently okay with what to do where. But having said that, I'm not going to, you know, deck up every time I leave the house either, because I'm also a normal person. And I'm also a slightly social person. So like, they are my friends that I like to have dinner with. I do like to go to the gym, because I will be extremely large if I don't. And all this means that I do step out of the house. And there is media. So that's okay. I think it's fine. Sometimes, you know,
So it's genuinely sort of how much you take.
I think so.
You don't read comments and get
Sometimes
affected.
if I'm bored, I'll read, but get affected, no.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but I read sometimes. It's fun, you know. And then like just the other day, I wore this cap, and some comments said she looks like a clown and all. I had a blast. I was like, that's so funny, clown. Maybe, you know, I could have maybe looked like a clown. Then some people say, you know, या तो सलवार कमीज या तो नंगी घूमती है. That's also really funny because it's true. Either I'm in hot shorts or I'm in a salwar kameez. You know, so people say these things and it's just funny if you take it in a funny way because I mean, what does it matter? Yeah, it's fine.
But Sarah, you obviously come from a very secure space now.
Do I?
You must, because for a lot of people, these comments would matter, and for a lot of, you know, especially people who are just coming into the limelight and all of it, it would be hard to navigate all of this. I mean, I know actors have told me that they got off like Twitter because, you know, sometimes in between shots they'd look at it and there would just be so much hate that it impacted on the acting. And so they would just, you know, this one person I was talking to, he just got off it. You're not on Twitter, right? No. So you're very
I am
careful.
under a false name, but I'll come on Twitter soon enough, hopefully.
Are you stalking people?
Of course. What do you mean? I'm a normal person. Of course I'm stalking people. I have a fake Instagram also where I like things and all, you know. Because can't be liking like random stuff, you know. Then people take screenshots of what you liked and all, you know, sometimes. And you don't always want people to know
So what do you like that you can't admit to liking?
No, like, you know, just generally, yeah.
Like yeah.
Like, you know, whatever. Like things and all, you know.
जैसे मतलब जूते
Like,
कपड़े like that.
नहीं, जूते कपड़े थोड़ी, you know.
Then-
Like some hot models and all, you know. You might want to like and you might not want everyone to know that you're liking and all. It's fine.
Yeah, that would make news.
No?
Sarah liked a hot model. Yeah.
Yeah, so then?
Yeah, that would make news.
So it's just like that.
So there's a fake name and then there's the real.
Yeah, there's a real name also. No, where I put na Kedarnath day 1, Kedarnath day 4. Please watch my film.
But the
Happy
fun one is
Rakhi
that
and
one.
all. Yeah.
Okay, so once we're done, you tell me what that fun account
Done.
is, and I'll follow that.
Please do. But
But do you wonder, Sarah, about what is public and what is private? Do you struggle with that at all?
what is public and what is private? I think that in our job, it's not very clear.
It isn't exactly.
It's not very clear, and that's something that I'm quite aware of. But I think again, it's up to you. It's
what you're comfortable
It's what
with.
you're comfortable with. I feel that, you know, like a lot of people recently on Karan's show, I don't even know how it came up, but I mentioned that I have PCOD. And then like a lot of people like messaged me and my mom saying, we're so proud of you for talking about it. And I was like, wow, really? It literally just came out, you know. I was saying something and I was just like, you know, I was fat because I had PCOD, you know. I just said that.
Right.
And it was not like I intended in that kind of a way, but I'm comfortable to speak about it. So it's okay. But if you're not comfortable speaking about something in your personal life, I think that's equally okay, you know. But that's what it is. So I don't think that there's anything that's a definite rule. You know, if you're comfortable with speaking about something, you speak about it. If you're not comfortable, then you don't. But yeah, I think that we are public figures, or, you know, about to at least become public figures. So I think that...
No, you're very public already.
So I think that there is an element of understanding of that, and somewhere down the line, whether it's the media or its audiences or its people, I have been given a lot of love and a lot of appreciation very, very early without having necessarily earned it. And if that is the predicament that I am in, then I'm not going to sit here and complain about the potential, you know, irritations of my predicament, because it's also a very positive one, and every coin has two sides.
Absolutely.
So, you know, if you can make me feel good about myself, then it's fine if you see me bloated outside the gym also. That's my personal space, and that's not necessarily something that I want seen. But it's okay, because it's fine.
It's what you signed up for.
Yeah, it is, and I say that it is what you signed up for, and you don't get to cherry pick and choose.
Yeah.
You know, this is what you signed
can't complain
up for.
about मैं जुहू बीच नहीं जा सकती.
Of course not.
Tell me though, there are some situations which just strike at least those of us who are a little outside, it's really bizarre, like you holding the Temu doll.
I was just given the Temu
I
doll.
just looked and I'm like, there's just something wrong with
Oh
this.
my God, you don't, I shouldn't say it. But there's some really funny things that they've, I think, cut out from the show.
But Sarah, how do you process this? How do you make sense of it?
I don't.
And it's not important.
No.
I mean, it was so
What are you
bizarre.
going to do? Like, you're there to promote your film, you're talking about your film, you're dancing, it's fun and games, and now everybody has their own concept of things. Now they must have thought it's hilarious. Now what am I going to say? It's not funny. Like, it's fine, I'll go along with it. You've invited me, I've come. I'm having fun, you've given me coffee, it's all good. What can you say?
नहीं, मुझे टेम्पो डॉल नहीं चाहिए.
ऐसे थोड़ी बोल सकती हूँ. मैं कौन होती हूँ? बोल रहे हैं अभी ये स्क्रिप्ट है तो लेना पड़ेगा. नहीं चाहिए. Then that'll become you. Sara doesn't want Temu doll.
Correct.
Anything you do, so just do it.
Correct.
You know.
Correct. This is true.
Is it not?
Yeah.
Will it not happen?
Yeah.
Will 3 people not turn around and say Sara did not accept Temu doll?
Yeah. What does
Let's
it mean?
see why.
Yeah.
You know. पता करते हैं. Swipe up to read more. You know ये होगा. तो ले ही लो यार. क्या हो जाएगा?
You know, I remember doing an interview with Kareena just before Refugee, and it was amazing. She talked very sort of passionately about how she wanted to kind of be in the space of a Madhubala or a Nutanji or you know, like sort of the iconic women of Hindi cinema. And it was so startling at that time to hear somebody who hasn't even begun to talk, not about, let's say, a Madhuri or a Sridevi, but to go back to the 50s and the 60s, that I still remember it. You know, so who are your role models? Who are the sort of women who inspire you and who you want to emulate?
See, now you're not going to remember this years later because my answer is Sridevi. And now I lose because my answer is a little more
listen,
predictable.
Your generation's down. No? For them, it was just
yeah,
before.
Okay, yeah. So fair. So similar, no?
Correct. It is similar. It is similar.
But no, I don't see.
For you, it was her?
Yeah, I've grown up watching a lot of her films. I can't say all, you know, because they're like 400.
Yeah. I think 500 was,
500.
It was,
So
no, 300 films. Mom, I think, was the 300th.
Mom was her 300th
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But she'd been working since she was, I think, four.
Four.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm a die-hard Sridevi fan. But I think it would be even blasphemous for me to say I aspire to be like her because it's impossible. I'll say it. It's impossible to touch her. It's impossible to touch the vicinity in which she belonged and belongs, you know. So, but she's definitely somebody that like one looks at for inspiration, you know. Like I remember when I was shooting one of my songs for Simba, it was like a romantic song that we were shooting. And I was like stalking her. I was like, Meethe Meethe Geet Mitwa. I was like on my playlist again and again. And then when we had to do a slightly like high energy number, I was like looking, Hawa Hawaii. Okay, chalo, ye bhi kar sakte, you know. And like, I'm like, chalo, if you do 1% of this also, now one is home.
Yeah.
So I can't say somebody that one aspires to be because that's impossible. But she's definitely like somebody that one can draw inspiration from continuously.
Okay, last question, and then you're going to give me your Khufia Instagram account. What is the most important quality for an actor to have?
Why don't you tell me and then I'll imbibe it and ensure that I can be a good actor. You've spoken to more of them than I have. Please tell me the answer.
You know, listen, I can only speak as somebody who's heard it. But my sense of what I know would be like a sense of empathy.
Yes.
And understanding.
I would agree. I think that it's very important on sets to be able to be real between action and cut, you know. And I think that what allows you to do that is if you truly have a good understanding of yourself first. And I think empathy can only then be derived.
Right.
Because if you don't know yourself, if you don't know your emotional capabilities and capacities, then it's very difficult for you to empathize with somebody else. So I think while you're probably very right about empathy, I think that at least for me personally, the starting point for empathy is introspection and understanding yourself better, which is something that I've only started to do. I'm not superb with it, and I'm going to work much harder on that because that's something I need to do.
Nice. Thank you and all best
Thank
for
you
Kedarnath and Simba.
very much, ma'am. It was a blast talking to you.
Thank you.
Hello guys, I'm Sara Ali Khan. And if you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to Film Companion.